Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Damn, there might be morning wherever some people are, but thank you for joining the Wolfpack Performance. I'm your host, Jay's Performance Talk and home of F1 Minute, the hottest live talk show for F1 on the planet. It's all about you. It's not about me. What's happening? So, before this got started, I want to say what's up to all the Wolf fam. I see you all in here. Green badges is starting to get deep up in here. We got green badges going deep. So I did post a poll. It says, should the FIA go back on questionable championships? 64% of you all said yes. All right. So 64% of you all said yes. This one is a hot topic right now. Felipe Massa, along with Bernie, going and talking his crazy stuff about, they should go back and do all this. And really, I think it's trying to be in spite of Lewis Hamilton, trying to take a championship away from him. But let's just go for the moment right now, okay? And let's just talk through this, because I do think that some people either didn't watch that race, didn't watch the season, or really don't know about it. Just know they don't like Lewis Hamilton because he's the GOAT or because he's so talked about, and maybe they're a Max Verstappen fan. Maybe there's somebody else fans. Maybe they're like, oh, yeah, take his championship, whatever the case is. But let's look at what's really being talked about. What's up, G5MDS? We flying. We're talking about Felipe Massa right now is trying to assemble a legal team to go back and reclaim what many are saying is his championship, okay? It is true that it is only 1 point that separates Lewis Hamilton and Felipe from that championship. Lewis Hamilton got it. The case or what is being presented is hinging on Crashgate. You don't know what that is. Renault told Piquet Jr. to crash his car in order to benefit Fernando Alonso in order to help him in his championship campaign to win that race, which did pretty well, right? So it's hinging on Crashgate. So they're trying to say that had Crashgate been handled the correct way, investigated, and things done right, that indeed Felipe would have benefited and won the 2008 championship. That's basically what they're saying. And I'm telling you that that's BS. That's BS. It's not true. It's not true. And I'm going to explain to you why my opinion, let me be clear when I say that, because some people feel like because I give my opinion based on somebody else's opinion, that means that they can't give their opinion. No, that's just your way of being silly and you trying to throw salt. No, I got my opinion just like you got your opinion, right? In my opinion, Felipe still wouldn't have got the championship. He still wouldn't have won. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? So the first thing we're going to go to right now is we're going to talk about this. Lap 14, 15, whatever. This is not a matter of fact always channel. This is a matter of how I damn feel and calling out a lot of BS, all right? Crashgate happens. This is early in the race. This is early in the race. At this point in time, this is not late in the race. This is very early. The Poisendorf should keep his gob shut off. Hello, fam. What's going on? Yeah, he probably should. So this is early in the race. We're talking about lap 14, 15, right? Okay, Crashgate happens. All right, now Felipe and them are saying, like, this should have been investigated. If it would have been investigated, and Bernie and them said as much as this, that they did not properly investigate that, although they had all the information to, because they were trying to uphold the integrity of the sport. That is contradictive in itself. How do you uphold the integrity of the sport, meanwhile doing something corrupt? How does that make sense? It doesn't, okay? But let's move beyond Crashgate, because this is why I'm saying, Felipe, bro, you was never going to get that championship anyway. And it wasn't anybody's fault but yours and your team's fault, right? And if you don't know this, what I'm finna tell you. So here we go. Here we go, lap 17. What happens? Ferrari is being Ferrari. Pit lane opens. A couple of cars came in before they got penalized, drive-through penalties. I want to say it might have been Williams, somebody else, whatever the case is, BMW, somebody. But anyway, pit lane opens. Massa pulls in. At this point in time, he is race leader. Lewis Hamilton pulls in. And what does Ferrari do? What does Ferrari do, y'all? Ferrari does what they always do. They fumble it up. Fuel hole still attached. Felipe pulls off, damn near drags a mechanic with him, drags the whole fuel hose, dragging those with him all the way down to the end of the exit pit lane, has to pull over. They have to run down there. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton comes out. He's out on track. And they have to get this damn fuel hose unstuck while it's sitting there jarred. And finally, so Felipe, Crashgate happened already. That's over and done. What are we supposed to do about this? Because inevitably, this is what caused you your position. Ferrari caused you your position. Ferrari fumbling it up. You pulled off. Meanwhile, you had the green light to pull off. That's a Ferrari situation. But your team screwed you. Your team did you in, bro. That's what caused you your position initially. Listen to what I'm saying. Initially. So now we got Crashgate happen earlier. Pit lane opens. Felipe comes in and Ferrari screws him. That's what happened right there. So does it stop there? No, it doesn't stop there. Because what happens after that? Felipe's already ruffled. He's already in his head. He's already probably not happy about this entire situation happening, watching Lewis Hamilton and other cars go right past him, because they sure did at the end of that lane. They passed him until he got on the track. So what happens next? Lap 21. That's Felipe, y'all. That's Felipe over there not on track. Completely off track. Felipe is completely off the track. So what are we supposed to do about that? That costs you time. You're not on track. Clearly, we can see that. You stayed wide for some time on that corner. What are we supposed to do that? So is that Crashgate's fault? So is Ferrari fumbling up your refueling Crashgate's fault? Is you going wide on track Crashgate, Renault, or Alonso's fault? No, that's you. Felipe, that's you, bro. Ferrari doing Ferrari things. Thank you, Kevin Gilbert. Ferrari is doing Ferrari things. And Felipe, I think if you took a closer look at this, now true, there still is something to be said about Crashgate being properly investigated. I'm not saying that there's not something said about that having a process and it coming out that they handled the situation wrong, but nothing at this point of these two articles of evidence that I've showed you says that it indeed should overturn the 2008 championship results. Ferrari screwed you one, then you're screwing yourself. But let's take a closer look. Let's look at this next thing, because I'm trying to tell you. So here we go right here. Felipe is wide. Let's go to the next. Lap 31, he lays down and dies for Kubica. I can't even pronounce the name. You know what I'm saying. Kubica. He lays down and dies. He's coming down the straight. He basically moves over, lets the guy through unchallenged. You let him through unchallenged. You didn't even really challenge it, bro. You didn't even really challenge Kubica. I can't screw his name up, whatever. You didn't even really challenge him, bro. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, Felipe? That's nobody's fault but your own. So now you got Ferrari fumbled it up. You're going wide on track, and you laid over and let another driver through right on you. Whose fault is that? So now we got 3-1. We got Crashgate, what happened earlier, which really could have affected everybody, but I give it to you because you're a race leader. Impacted you more. Could have impacted you more, but really what impacted you was Ferrari fumbled you. You went wide, and now you let a driver through unchallenged. Okay. So are we still blaming the 2008, the 1 point that you feel like you didn't get here? Are we still blaming that on Crashgate? Because I think there's some responsibility to be taken here on behalf of Ferrari and you as a driver. But if that's not enough, let's go to the next. Here we go right here. Who's that? Who is that? Who's that, Felipe? Felipe, who is that? I think that's you. That's you spinning out. That's Felipe Massa, y'all, spinning out. Not only did he spin out there, kind of like Crash Tiffy S, Mick Schumacher S. He puts water on the track because of the barriers, and then the Toyota comes behind him and spins out due to water on the track in this situation. Felipe, whose fault is this? That's you, bro. That's you driving. You spun out. That didn't help your Singapore GP campaign. That didn't help your race position. That didn't help your race pace. So now, the only thing we got over here to hinge it on, Crashgate, which happened way earlier in the race, all of this happened post-Crashgate. Ferrari fumbled you up in the refueling. You went wide on track. You let a driver through unchallenged, and then you spun out. Right there. That's all you. So where is it at the point where we say, where is it where Felipe is going to come out and say, hey, the 2008 championship wasn't mine. I didn't win it. I did so many things wrong in that race post the Crashgate situation that all I'm really looking for is to try to uphold the integrity of the sport and make sure that they go back and reprimand people accordingly in situations like that. But as far as the championship, Lewis Hamilton earned that. I messed it up in my own situation because you did. Okay. Let's go one step further. And to add insult to injury, Kimi Raikkonen crashed out. So now Ferrari collects no points. No points. Ferrari got no points in this race. One driver completely crashed out. Another driver got so deep in the woods in his head, he couldn't even drive properly. He couldn't even drive his car properly. Are we still talking about Crashgate being the reason why Felipe didn't win the championship? No. This got to stop. Crashgate was wrong. Crashgate needs to be handled, and the people who mishandled it need to be reprimanded. But there is no way in hell we should hear anything. People just want to say stuff because they want to hate on somebody. How do you strip something away from somebody earned it? You clearly see Felipe screwed his own race and Ferrari screwed him too. Ferrari screwed him too. Come on now. Alonso finished first. Ross finished second. Ham finished third. Do you know where Felipe finished? What's going on, false flag? Does anybody know where Felipe finished? This man finished 5 positions outside of points. He was 5 positions outside of points. What are we supposed to do with that, Felipe? You were 5 positions outside of points. This was like a 61-lap race. Crashgate happened in 14. That's a lot of race left, and you screwed up all the way through it. What's going on, G5? Thank you, bro. Thank you, McDermott. Thank you, McNasty. Thank you very much, good sir. Appreciate you. 6-month member up there flagging it up. You screwed up all the way through. So why is nobody talking about that? Why are most people only talking about Bernie? You know what? Hamilton, we should take the 2008 championship. It really belongs to Massa. No, it doesn't. Why is nobody talking about the way Ferrari fumbled it up and the horrible drive that Massa had in that race? Nobody wants to mention that? I got you. Don't worry. I'll mention it. I'll talk about it. I'll show the articles of evidence. I got you. Nobody want to talk about how Ferrari didn't collect any points because one driver crashed all the way out and another driver was 5 places out of position for points? Nobody want to talk about that, huh? Okay. I got you. I just find that funny. Appreciate you, G5. Appreciate that sticker. I just find that really funny. And I'm telling you, most people are going to watch this video. They're going to see these things that I presented in front of you. And they're still going to try to find it somewhere in their mind and say, no, that championship still belongs to Massa. Stop playing. We're talking about right now. What's up, F1? I see you. Will, do you know why Bernie Ecclestone is so angry? Why? He has a short temper. Okay, I'll see myself out. Big facts. They're still... Listen, this is hinged off. Now watch. They're going to try to go. Appreciate you, G5, with the super sticker. Appreciate you. They're going to go try to find and claw and crawl and find something else to say. Yes, 1 point was the deciding factor between Lewis Hamilton and Massa. And this race is pivotal because of Crashgate. But for Bernie to say that it should be reversed because of Crashgate, all of a sudden he wants to step up and say, oh, we didn't handle it right. We should have looked into it. Maybe we should reverse the championship decision and give it to Massa. How? Did you not watch the rest of the race? Ferrari screwed their driver, and then their driver screwed himself. They took 2 380s. Forget 380s because I don't like short rounds. I like 9. I go 9, 40, 45s, 5.56, 7.62. I don't even do 380s. Like, why do a 380? You could do a 9. They took 2 9mm, took their shoes off, pointed them down, and pulled the trigger in both feet. That's what Ferrari and Massa did. That's what they did. Appreciate you, G5. That's exactly what they did. So anybody that wants to try and say that 2008 championship result, the championship driver in Lewis Hamilton did not deserve it, Felipe did because he was involved in a race where Crashgate happened, you are misinformed. And it's okay. I'm just trying to show you something. Sometimes I'm misinformed and I learn from other people. I'm teaching you right now. You're misinformed. So I will say either you never watched that race in your life, you didn't know about all this, and you probably never even watched the 2008 season. But there's no way, if you want to only try to hinge Crashgate on the fact of why Massa did not get the championship and Lewis Hamilton does not deserve it, you're crazy. Lewis Hamilton pulled into the pits. His team did their job. He pulled out clean and got the damn race lead. While Felipe pulls out, running down the street with a QT gas pump connected to his car, damn near pulls a mechanic with him. That's Ferrari, y'all. That's not Lewis Hamilton's fault. That's not anybody. That's not Alonso's fault. That's not Nico's fault. That's Ferrari and Felipe's fault. They double effed it up. They Ferrari Felipe'd it. But no, can somebody come out and at least admit to as much as that? Felipe, I heard you was a pretty cool dude. Not that I heard you was a pretty cool dude. But I would think that when you're talking about these things, Derwin Hill, appreciate that super sticker, bro. Mic drop. Facts, bro. I would think that if you do have some integrity, put these things in context because you know how horrible your drive was. Listen, there's no way that you forgot about all this. You didn't forget about that. I know you didn't forget about that. Did y'all also, come on, this is not the first time Ferrari did that. Do you remember Kimi when he totally ran over a mechanic's leg and shattered it? Ferrari is infamous for I was trying not to drop the F-bomb. I did good. I caught myself. For fouling up like that. Come on now. F1 says there is no way this will get or gain traction. It's just usual paddock gossip. It's not my thing, but there's enough name to call Bernie X. Right. There you go. What's going on, Malachi? Lewis could too. He can protest the 2007 championship because the latest race, Williams and BMW using illegal fuel temperatures. Nobody want to talk about that? What's up, Mary Beanie? Appreciate the super sticker. Nobody want Malachi, thank you. Why don't y'all mention that? The year before, now let me tell you what's egregious about that. Malachi, I'm glad you brought that up. If you don't know, since a lot of people come here and say, I know nothing about Formula One, we only talking about 2007. Okay. But if you don't know about that, they literally found out that these teams were using illegal temperatured fuels. Literally. They then purposely decided not to penalize them. The investigation was already proven that the fuel was illegal. They chose not to penalize those teams. Do you not realize how egregious that is? If they did that, then Lewis Hamilton is the 2007 champion, the 2008 champion, and that would indeed make him a 9-time world champion. And if you go by 2021, as illegal as that was, are we not talking about 10? We're not talking about 10? Y'all playing around. Y'all want to talk about the Nico situation? Y'all want to, come on now. We want to talk about the engine failure, but that's Mercedes. That's why I don't go to that. Like when that whole situation happened, yeah, I understand there was a lot of questionable things between Hamilton and Nico and all that stuff went around in his engine and all that. Okay, cool. But Lewis Hamilton, if you go by that, 2007, 2021, Lewis Hamilton is a 9-time world driving champion. Would be. Let me correct myself. Would be, because I know it's going to be a lot of haters. No, okay, whatever. I'm just saying, if you look at what happened, we're not talking about race results. 2007 wasn't a race. 2007 was literally the governing body at that time finding out that two teams were running illegal cars with fuel temperatures being the cause of that, and they literally chose not to penalize them, which they should have. And had they done that, Lewis Hamilton would likely be 2007 World Driving Champion. He is the 2008 World Driving Champion. But you're trying to take that away with this, and I just showed you why damn well they shouldn't. And if you look at 2021, again, something done wrong. We admit it was wrong. We fired the guy who was part of it being wrong. Not everybody who was part of it. We know it was wrong. But, hey, we're not going to change the results. Yeah, it is what it is. I know Lewis was gapping Max Verstappen by 10 to 14 seconds. And, we could have, although we just finished having a race in Australia where we did 3 red flags, the most in history. We should have red flagged the race. But, we felt like the Latifi crash, although Latifi's crash was similar to the crash that happened, as much debris that happened in there, and they red flagged the race. Why not then? I'm just saying. I'm not being biased. I'm just looking at the facts and then kind of, giving you my opinion on it. You have your own. Akondu says Bernie's so bent on trying to put Schumacher record above Lewis. That's what this is all about. He said too many negative things about Lewis in between. Facts. Listen, do y'all, and if we really still want to keep talking about championships, I mean, me and Will talked about this as much on F1 Minute. Do y'all not remember Schumacher literally ran Damon Hill off? I mean, I believe the car was partially airborne, screwed the car off, and then tried to act like he had amnesia by saying that he didn't even remember hitting this dude while he won the championship in the pit lane. Come on, y'all, for real. Man, y'all gotta stop with these shenanigans. Blue Diva, massive congratulations to all our Wolfpack fan. Facts. Big facts on that. I'm packing up shirts right now, getting ready for batches to go out next week. If you have a green badge, you need to get in the Discord. Do not reach out to me in comment sections. Get in the Discord. You are a family member. You have eligible to be in there. You need to be in there to be with the rest of the family. And when we do Wolves Den, get your access to the Discord and DM me there, or your name, your address, and 2 shirt sizes, period. What else we got down here? Freak Dogs Flair, Lando, and other drivers have admitted Lewis is an 8th. Thank you. Lando admitted it. I'm telling you, when the truth is just sitting around and bouncing in there, it comes out randomly sometimes. Lando on live stream, and this is the helmet in the race out where Lewis won his 8th world championship. Yeah, it came out. Ted Kravitz, Lewis Hamilton, 8th world. Yeah, it came out. Matter of fact, remember Sam Collins talked about the 2007 campaign about the legal cars as well. I think that was this season too. Come on now. But I get it. They want to say I don't know nothing. They want to say I don't know anything. It's crazy when people say I don't know anything. I don't know everything. You could say that. But I don't know anything? Come on now. Stop playing with. That's when I know you with the shenanigans. That's when I know you just a big troll. You're just trolling, and it's horrible. But I get it. You got to do something. You got to try to say something because you feel nasty inside when you're trying to like harbor and hide and trying to mask and support all this damn debacle and these scandals and these schemes. It takes a lot of energy to do that. Trust me. I've seen people, just age horribly because they just steady trying to do that. Let that go. Let that go. Just be free. Sylvia Wick says, smash the like button, subscribe, and join the fam. She ain't lying. So anyway, Massa indeed is not, will not, should not, did not earn to be the 2008 World Champion. Was he right there? Yeah, he was close. But that race, if anything, they screwed their own campaign. Massa screwed himself. Ferrari helped him. And that's that. Period. Point blank, end the story. Point blank, end the story. It's not hard. It's not hard. If you don't know, go find out, go look. Malachi just pointed out another point of reference for you, 2007. We don't even have to go far. We can just go, 2 years back, go to AD 2021. You want to try to tell me that was legal? It's funny. Most people try to just address the fact that, Max deserved it too. Max may have deserved to be a champion, but Max did not legitimately win the championship. Those two things can be true, and those are where you get misconstrued. Galactics, what about Ferrari and the fuel? Thank you. Ferrari and the fuel sensor trick. They needed to take those points. They didn't. They fined them heftily, and then they did not divulge what they actually found as to it went. I had to look through regulations and kind of see some tweaks and some changes to kind of get pinpoint to where they probably were in the area where they found Ferrari was doing with their fuel mapping and, probably extra triggers and or, intake. So I'm just saying, why didn't they do that? See, the sport is not being upheld with integrity. They keep doing things that not only lose the trust in the fan base, the viewership and spectators, also some of the drivers, but then you dirtying yourself up and then you expect us to believe you when you do certain things that seem so egregious or certain things that, didn't we just get done with the cost cap situation? We just saw Stefano come out and say that he was in fear that more teams may breach the cost cap because of the precedents they set with Red Bull. You did that. You allowed that. You sat by the side. You didn't fight for anything different. Ben, you were part of that too. You, Liberty Media, you're part of that too. Nobody opened their mouth and said something like, yo, you breached. You didn't show up. You didn't participate in the mocks. You didn't want to do that. You breached the damn 5% or less. Doesn't matter. Minor breach. Breach is a breach. You spent $1.8 million over the cost cap. $1.8 million. You want to add your tax credit in there, the funny money, to try to bring it down? No, they literally had to spend $1.8 million. The tax credit was only going to try to cut down that deficit, but they spent 1.8 something million pounds of money. That wasn't on chicken wings and catering. All right, please stop it. But people want to try to sit here and listen. At that point in time, take the drivers out of. We're talking about the integrity of the sport. That's not good for the sport. Freak Dogs Flair. F1 got rid of refueling in 2010. After numerous refueling debacles. I could be wrong, though. No, they did have many refueling debacles. Remember the situation? Fuel sprays out. Dude, I think it was Jaguar. Fuel sprays out, catches on fire. The situations with the refueling definitely was a safety hazard. And in those conditions, we've seen that teams didn't always have the best safe practices, all right? They didn't always have the best SMS systems. If you know what that is, right? They didn't always have that. So, yeah, I don't know if exactly that's why, but I'm pretty sure that is a big portion of why. Free Dogs Flair, mid-race refueling. I don't know how we feel about that. Galactic is so many scandals in F1 is crazy. Alonso holding up Lewis and paying crew not to work on his car. He should have been banned for a year at least. Y'all think about this. Why nobody want to talk about that, right? Let's talk about you, Alonso delusional people. Like people that like Alonso support him and you can be honest with it, cool. But how do you feel about a driver literally, and this is true, this is a matter of fact, paying mechanics not to or purposely derail another driver's campaign? How do you feel about that? Is that integrity? Is that good character? Is that upstanding? I don't think so. And do you realize that Alonso's been pretty much involved or at the center of more than one scandal? He was there with Crashgate. He benefited from that. And then he himself carried out the actions to try to pay people to basically derail Lewis Hamilton in the other garage next to him. Same guy that sat in the pit lane holding Lewis Hamilton up for going out and getting pole or at least qualifying the best he could. I understand there was a little battle going on in between the rookie and Alonso, but that's what Alonso does. So is that upstanding? Is that what we're doing? I'm just asking, are you defending that? Are you defending that? Because if you're defending that it's okay for another driver in Alonso to pay mechanics to derail Lewis Hamilton's car or any other driver's car, you got to think about yourself. You're questionable. Facts. Something right there tells you, whoever I need them to see this video and see that you commented that you're okay with that. So they can know the type of person that they're around, that they probably shouldn't trust at all. Just being honest right there. So, yeah, Felipe, the reverse of 2008 is done with. But what you can do is still fight to bring more of this to the surface, since you're not in Formula One as a driver, and fight to bring more of these situations to the surface, including this, since you were there when it happened. And then why don't you go to some other situations that happen and try to bring those up and get those outed as much as possible. Do some good work. That's what you could do. Don't try to hinge you losing out on the 2008 championship and trying to snatch Lewis Hamilton's 2008 championship because you want to blame it on Crashgate. Crashgate happened so far early in that race, and I got so many pieces of evidence right here that you screwed your own race that, bro, don't do that. Don't go out like that. Put some context to it. Stand on that podium. Stand out on the platform that you're on. Speak about these things in good context and give these facts out and say, hey, I didn't deserve to be the championship Lewis Hamilton deserved to be because he won it fair and square. I ruined my race after Crashgate. Now, you can say Crashgate took a lot out of me mentally, but really, I think that situation is this situation right here is what messed up Felipe. What messed him up is the refueling went bad. He snatched off a mechanic. He had to stop at pit lane and watch other cars drive off into the track. And from there, mentally, he was done. Mentally, he checked out. It happens. It happens to some. That's really what it was. So, I wish you all well. I wish people well. Don't forget, we're going to be here tomorrow, live for qualifying in the morning. Live for qualifying. The link is already up. It's already available. As a matter of fact, if you don't have it, I will grab it for you right now, and I will go ahead and put it in the live chat so you can go ahead and save it. Save the reminder so you're not late, so you don't miss out, because we're going to be here in the morning. We're going to be here in the morning for qualifying. So come on and join us, because I'm going to do kickback quali and all that. I'm doing kickback quali. Will is like the 3-time back-to-back winner. I don't know if anybody can stop that, man, but there you go. I'm going to pin it up top. This is the live quali watch. We'll be here live. Come on and join us. We're going to have kickback quali. Somebody's going to have the opportunity to win a $25 or a $50 gift card. We'll spend for it during finale lap, and it could be you. It's been Will. Now, you gotta be fast on that button. You got to be fast with that chat. You got to be fast with your answer. But there's plenty of opportunity there to steal a question away. You could have 5 wide, for real. F1, don't matter how much we think it was right or wrong, it will never be undone. Hopefully all parties can agree to disagree. I'm with that. You know, I'm with that. It's really about trying to fix things going forward, right? Those things have been done. Should they have been done? No. Were they done? Yes. Was it wrong? Yes. Could you go back and at least try to make things right? Maybe it's not about giving championships. Maybe it's about penalizing those people if they're still involved in the sport and removing them from the sport. But it's definitely about going forward, making sure these things don't happen. And Formula One is not doing that. They've already shown us they are reluctant to do that. They are reluctant to stand up front and say, we're wrong and we're going to fix it. You had plenty of time in 2021 to make sure you got it right, and you didn't. You wanted to try to continue on like nothing was wrong. Then you wanted to try to come out with your findings and mask them and try to come out with things on top of things happening, so it kind of got dampened. And then the cost cap situation happened. You know, it's supposed to have teeth. Supposed to be all this, supposed to be a Rottweiler on supposed to be Cujo on steroids if somebody breaches it. Red Bull breaches it, and you got Gummy Bear with gums made of damn marshmallows. That ain't a very harsh bite. That was horrible. So at this point in time, FOM, Formula One, the FIA have consistently been proving that they cannot be trusted to do the right things when the most egregious things happen to attack the integrity of Formula One, period. That's what I'm saying. Freaks Dog says, just a reminder, there are 2 quali sessions. Yes, there are. All right. There's a quali session for the sprint. Then there's a quali session for the race. We will be here definitely tomorrow, because tomorrow's quali is going to set the grid for Sunday. Saturday, they will have that whole situation for the sprint. I believe that's the way the schedule is going to go. So we will be here tomorrow, and I likely may still be here for another quali the following day, because you know how I go. I go hard. I try to make sure I'm with y'all when these things are popping off. So maybe I'm going to apply to the FIA, see if maybe they'll give me a position. Maybe I can, help them get some of these things corrected going forward. Of course, it'll decrease some of my duties here, the videos and, being with the family and the community, which I can't have that. So other than that, that's a mic drop. This is Jay Wolfpack Performance, home of the F1 Minute, the hottest live talk show where it's more about you than it is me. We will be here Monday, 8:30 off the back of the Azerbaijan GP. Be here with us live. Come on, say what you got to say. Come on live. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be like a little rat in a hole and only come out sometime and go back in. Come on out. Be for real. 083 says you can't expect payment who are comfortable with corruption to have integrity is not going to happen. Ooh, damn, that's a real thing right there. That's a real thing right there. Bro ain't lying. So, hey, you can't expect that. I mean, let me ask y'all something. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Let me see how many people believe this. I'm about to ask you a question. I want to see what you all say. Poll in the chat. Don't dance on it, just vote on it. Let me see what you all say about this. Do you trust the FIA to make the right decisions? Do you trust them going forward to say that they will govern the sport accordingly? I want to know. Please feel free to vote. If you do, say you do. It's okay. I mean, it's an anonymous vote. I can't see who's voting, but I would like to know, do you trust him? Mary Super Chat. Where did I miss Mary Super Chat? Mary, look, Lewis had no time to pit in 80, 2021. I was there. That's a fact. Yep, he didn't. That's a fact. He didn't because they didn't red flag the race. Now it could, listen, put it in context, did he have time to pit? He could have pit. But under the right circumstances and the way that race was supposed to go to the letter of the law, to how rules were supposed to be implemented, Lewis didn't need to pit to lose position to Max. There was no reason to. They knew that you have to do the unlapping of the cars. Lewis Hamilton passed, which I believe was 7. They chose not to do that purposely. You also know that the safety car is supposed to do an additional lap. They chose the safety car in early purposely. There were so many protocols broken in that race. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let me see who else got a super chat right here. It says Cassius Clay with the super sticker, just sitting down with the glasses, cooling and chilling. 98. So some of you said yes. Okay, so I got another question for you. So let me ask you this. Here you go. Damn, put the caps on. All right, poll in the chat. Don't dance on it, just vote on it. Do you think that Liberty Media should keep going the way they are? Do you like the way that the sport is forming up? Do you like the way the sprint arrangement is that we're about to be in this weekend, which we're going to see if we really like it? But do you like the idea that they've proposed that they're going to initiate starting tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday? Do you like the way that the race calendar is structured? Do you think that they are doing a good job for the sport, or do you think they're doing a lot of things for entertainment and not really for the sport? OG Zilla says FIA 6 feet under with Charlie, rest in peace. Woo, smoke. Damn, that's some hot fire. Woof. 82% say no. Come on, vote. Let me see what you got to say. 21% say yes. That's fair. Okay. It's just a vote. Just see. Let's go. 79% say no. Okay. 80% say no. All right. Okay. All right. So then I got another question for you. Let me see what you think about this. Do you like the fact that a team literally has 2 teams and 4 cars on the track, or do you think that they should be able to break that up to the point where AT is totally separate from Red Bull completely and sell the team? Trevor Robinson, appreciate that super sticker, throwing a party. Galactic, is Liberty Media making too many changes? Stop it now. I think they are making too many changes a bit too fast. And I think they're not fully thinking the changes through. But it's true. You got to kind of run some things, see how it works. I get it. But that's my opinion, right? It's my opinion. So, yeah. So what do you think? 93% of you say yes? 93% of you say yes. 7% say no. I don't know. If you were playing a sport and they told you to come with a partner, it's going to be 2-on-2. You show up, the other team has 4 players, you only got 2. Do you still cool about that? You still don't think that there is some room in there for, illegitimate situation to take place by having 4 cars on track that are literally under the control of one team in Red Bull Racing? I think so. I think that's a problem. If it's not a problem, it could lead to problems. If it hasn't already been a problem already, I think so. So these are the questions that we should be asking. Like, it's not all about just one team. I mean, we know it's okay. But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited about this weekend. You know, we got updates, not upgrades, because for it to be upgraded, it needs to yield some positive result. We got updates. We got a new sprint format. We're gonna see how that works for the drivers, for the competition, and then third is like, is it going to be interesting? Is it going to be entertaining? Is it going to keep eyeballs? Cool. Up until now, I think a lot of us haven't been so crazy about this many sprint races being on the calendar. I think a lot of us were cool with 3. I think 6 was like, we could do without it. Honestly, I don't miss them when I don't see them. But when we see one, we had a pretty good one. I want to say it was last season. We had a pretty good sprint last season, but they don't all turn out like that. So we'll see what happens. Let me see what we got. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I got Galacticus. I read his. Trevor Robinson. Big shout out. OG Zilla. Mary Beanie. Cassius Clay. Got those. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody before I get up out of here. I really appreciate you all tuning in for today's discussion, because I think that something needed to be said. People need to be talking about the context of that entire race instead of just Crashgate and trying to say strip Lewis Hamilton and give it to Felipe. Felipe screwed himself and Ferrari screwed him too. So that's a wrap. All right. I'm out of here. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Galactic says, do you think Merc will have regular side pods? Ooh. I think Mercedes will have reprofiled side pods, but I'm not sure of them being changed to the magnitude where you look at it like an Alpine, a Red Bull, an Aston Martin. I think they still got to be very cautious to stay under the cost cap. You can't spend too much money in that area because there are a lot of other areas that need attention as well. The suspension, the floor, their beam wing setup. There are other things that do need attention as well. So I'm not sure if you can just throw the kitchen sink at the side pods and think that that's going to be like Wutashi. So I don't think they're going to. Could they go back to the spec that they had in 2022 before they went to the slim down side pods? Yeah. So yeah, they could technically go back to that, and then we'll be there. So we'll see. But that's a good question, Galactics. Darren says, sell AlphaTauri and bring in Andretti. I'm all for that. I am totally for that. Derwin, I'm totally for that, bro. For real. Matter of fact, one of your shirts is the ones I got packed up to go out on the batch next week. So shout out and big ups to you, bro, for being a 6-month plus member here. Some of y'all been here for 10 months. And listen, I got a list. I'm still working through it. People need to get with me. I'm trying to tell you right now. You need to get with me. If your badge is green, you need to get with me. I got a list. I've been scratching people off. I'm working through it. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I will try and see if I'll come on, do an update video. If I get the information, if they get the information to me. Sometimes things are real busy and it doesn't. But if I do, I'll come on, do an update video. We'll go through some pictures, try to see that. Freak Dogs Flair says Mercedes bringing updates to the suspension at Baku. Yes, that was an area of interest for them, the suspension. Now, you got to remember, Red Bull have been very successful, not only just because Nui with the aerodynamics and the bodywork and the floor, but the suspension setup. All right, that's different. And that itself is also an area of interest that needs to be addressed, okay? So we'll see about that. And don't forget, we saw Alfa Romeo was so focused on the rear of their car, and they are totally oblivious to Formula One right now. Like Valtteri and Zhou are, although Zhou's season could be worse because it was worse last season, but it's abysmal this season. Like, I might do a video on that too, so we'll see. I'm interested to see what's going on. I want to see what all the teams are bringing, especially McLaren. They've been like mute at this point. And the most exciting thing about McLaren right now is Oscar Piastri and if he's going to outperform Lando. Finally, somebody's talking about another teammate outperforming somebody else, and it's very minimal. Everybody wants to talk about George Russell and Lewis Hamilton and, get Lewis. Oh, school him. Like, he ain't schooling nobody. Lewis is too accomplished for that. Even if Russell wins 2 seasons before Lewis leaves, he still ain't schooling nobody. Do you really believe that? If you believe that, then I really got a place on Mars. It's on like the 600 block on Mars. Good, nice high rise, good sun, good view. I could sell it to you for $1 million. I also got a connect with Elon Musk, and he got me a spaceship, and I could loan it to you to get there. It's gonna come back by itself, and then you got to figure it out. But yeah, I got a pretty good property on Mars. I'll sell it to you for $1 million. I'm not really visiting it that much, so sure, if you believe that, I got that. Send me the check, PayPal me $1 million, and I'll get you the deed. I'll get you the deed to that property on Mars I got. So anyway, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Big ups. We're in a race weekend, race day waffles. I will post a picture. I also will put a post up of the different flavors that I could make and see who's right about the one that I actually do make. So I'll see y'all later. Y'all sleep tight. See you in the morning. Peace.